Hey, what's up, everyone? This is John with Superfly, BeSuperfly.com, and it's my privilege to go over Arrow with you today. Arrow is more of a boutique theme that's focused on, for me, it's focused on a certain market. I based the design off of a tech startup design that I did for a client, so the design is heavily based on that, and it's a little more boutique than, say, an Anthem or Josephine, where those are pretty wide and can be used for a lot of different things. Arrow, for me anyway, it's pretty custom, and because of that, we're able to put in some features that are a little more specific to this theme than to Arrow or Josephine. So I hope you like it, and hope you like the feel, and hope it works for your project. With some imagination, this theme can be used for other items besides tech startups, but the demo just goes over tech startups. But I could see this working great for church sites, basic marketing sites. But again, the demo is all kind of like tech startup related, app development type stuff. But don't let that stop you from using it on other projects. So right off the bat, we have this two diagonal up and down section here, and if you're on Firefox, you notice that you don't see that because right now Firefox doesn't support the CSS that we used for the top part. The bottom arrow is fine, but the top arrow actually uses clip path, and the current version here is 53, and doesn't quite support it fully, but as you can see here, it's coming up, and so I'm hopeful that soon this will work on Firefox. But note that on Edge and IE, it's not even close to being supported yet. So that's one thing to keep in mind as you're developing is you might think a different way to do this if you wanted this to show up on all browsers for now. But I think this is a good fallback for folks because as you can see, we're using the shape here to have the image float underneath it. And a lot of times if you use images for these, it's just not as clean as using CSS. So with that out of the way, as I move down here, we have gradient text, and I'll show you in a later video how to change the colors on that, as well as change the colors of this up here. We have this feature section that's kind of Anthem-ish, but I added some color glow to it because I thought I just kind of needed it to be a little more specific here. I'm also using images here instead of icons, but in a later video I'll show you how to use an icon instead of an image. But sometimes the icons you need to use are just not built into the Divi theme, and sometimes you have to pull in an image. Typical parallax section with some ghost buttons, and then we have this special little down arrow that you can put in different spots on your website that animates like so. A nice portfolio feature with some custom animations coming in that are not, these animations are extra to Divi. For example, I'm going to refresh and you'll see that this button comes in as well, which is not native to Divi, and I'll show how to use that in another video. The block section as well has the color overlay, or the color glow, that I think is kind of getting hot right now. And I'll show you how to change that. We have this fun little background section here. So there'll be a video on how you can work with this. I've done an extensive tutorial on how to use this feature, so it's built in here. And then by popular request, this is the actual email opt-in widget in Divi. Other themes I've just used a regular form, but this is the actual email opt-in widget. And then we have a sleek, clean, very clean footer here, and that rounds out our home page. Responsive, it does really nice too. It gets down here and shifts to a nice mobile menu. Full width there. So a little different than the regular Divi menu. The platform page has the same kind of layout as the home page, except at the top, except that you notice that this background image here, we've applied the Ken Burns zoom effect on this image. So that comes with this theme as well. And I don't know if you notice on the home page, but we got this special highlighted button up here. And I can make other buttons this highlight color. I'll be showing that in a video. We have a fun section here with the background image, kind of tying back to those particles that were moving earlier. And let me grab this and move it. There we go. When it goes to mobile, it just goes behind the text and gets a white overlay, so you can still read the text easily. So that's pretty nice. We'll go ahead and get out of Firefox here. Here's the platform page on Firefox. So same kind of deal. That moves up. Ken Burns. Yeah, on this one, I had this on the home page, but I left it on this one. When it fades in, the arrow comes up. Pretty cool little animation that happens. Again, that's part of those custom animations that I was talking about that I'll go over in a video. Very Squarespacey buttons. A nice gradient background section here that I'll go over in a video. Ghost button, half text, half image section that on mobile stacks. And you'll notice that it's actually switching position. So normally this section would go underneath this on mobile and tablet, but we have a special code in there that makes it go on top. It switches positions. And then again, here's the features, and here's our testimonial area with the particles background. There's also worth mentioning is there's this gradient color background on top of an image there, a parallax image. So if I look at this, you'll see that I can go in and change these colors, and it's going to it doesn't affect the image at all because it's separate. So that's something to note. There's a lot of flexibility there, and I'll be going over that. And then the rest of it's pretty much the same as the home page was. The services page. So these diagonal lines here are optional. It can just be straight across just by removing a class. And we've also built in a gray, some overlays to choose from. So for example, this one has our gray overlay. If I can find the right one here. There we go. There it is. So there it is without it. And just by adding some code, you can get this nice gray overlay so your text and title can be readable without having to go into Photoshop and mess around with putting a color overlay over the image. Or if your client changes this image, no worries, text will be able to be read. And then we have a special block quote styling here to match this gradient text here. And then this is just a sample page that's set up with another header style. Pretty basic there. The About page is showing another gradient header there. Boy, it seems like I like missing where the gradient is at. So there's the picture that's being used, and you can see we got this gradient going over it. And anyway, I'll be going over how that happens. I believe that might be happening in a class, but I'm going to go over that. But the point is you can use any image you want, and it'll get this overlay on it. And a little bit styling here on the search, and then just a basic page. The blog also has the gradient overlay over the image up top, as with the cut down. So again, here's the image that we're using. Pretty basic blog. And then here's a sample blog post. And some comments here. And actually, I think I had comments on another one. I think on this first one here, I had more of a thread going. Yep, here we go. So I kind of did a comment thread and styled some reply buttons and whatnot. And then this is actually a default WordPress page. It's not Divi Builder. So I had to style that. And the footer has a nice subtle divider line there that you could also get rid of if you wanted, but I like it there. And yeah, so I wanted to show what that was like. Also, you'll see that on hover, the top menu bar turns blue on desktop here. And that happens throughout. So I'll show how to change that as well. And I think that's pretty much it for the most part. So I'm going to move on into the how-to videos. But hopefully you like this theme. Hopefully it's a good addition to your theme collection. And hopefully it gives you a great starting point to knock out a site very quickly and quickly make the money on this theme that you paid back many times over by using this on a site. So all right, with that, I'll jump into the how-to videos. And this is Arrow. Thank you for your time. Have a good one.